win or go home. But it's on nights like tonight where we need your support. It's been an uneasy couple of weeks over in Camp Barça, both on and off the pitch, but the team needs your support because they're over in the Ukraine fighting for their survival in the Champions League. And this is exactly where you come in. We need you to show your Barça spirit. You can help the team by posting your pictures on the web using the hashtag BarçaLive to show your support exactly now when the team is up against the ropes. And hopefully, just maybe, just possibly, tonight could be magical with your support. So again, hit us up on social media using the hashtag BarçaLive, and let's get this party started. So there you have it. As I mentioned also in yesterday's countdown, there is no sugarcoating the current situation of Barça, but we do, of course, are allowed to hope that, well, today's game ends up with a win and hopefully change the course of this team in the competition. Joining me tonight in the panel, we're going to introduce today's studio panel. We have Robert van Eekhout, Rick Sharma, and Bruno Ballester as well. Gentlemen, I hope you have your fingers crossed. I hope you have all of your good luck charms ready because we're going to need it tonight. Let's be honest.
I'm not even going to cross my fingers. I trust the team so much that here they are. I'm not even going to cross them.
Your toes.
Yeah. Big night, of course. Big
Absolutely.
Champions League night for Barça. Looking forward to it. It's not a win or go home situation, but it is very close to that. And we have to trust our team. Sergi Barjuan said yesterday, they're experienced. They've been in these situations before. They know what to do.
Rick, maybe not a win or go home, but I mean, a win is desperately needed, certainly.
Absolutely, and if they win today, it's completely in their control still, because then Benfica come to the camp now, and they've got a great chance to go on and progress by, even just drawing that game might be all right. So it's a really important game tonight, and I'm happy to see Ansu Fati back in the lineup too.
Absolutely. And Bruno, how's your spirits ahead of today's match?
Well, I think Barça played some good moments of football in the first half against Dynamo Kyiv. Then in the second half, well, it was a bit more difficult. But I think that, taking into account some good moments of football that also we saw on the weekend and on the previous game against Dynamo Kyiv, I think that, with this new spirit, with this now new atmosphere that there is in the locker room, let's see if today, it's like a final. So hopefully, let's see if the team can get a good result in Kiev.
Well, of course, we're about to find out who the 11 Warriors are to face Kiev today. It's perhaps the biggest news is that Des will start on the bench.
Yes, and that Frenkie de Jong and Ansu Fati are back in the lineup. Let's have a look at the 11 men that Football Club Barcelona are going to start with tonight. Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal. We're assuming this is going to be a 4-3-3 formation. At the back, Oscar Mingueza, Eric Garcia, Clement Langlais and Jordi Alba. In midfield, Sergio Busquets, Frenkie de Jong and Nico Gonzalez. And up front, Gavi, Ansu Fati and Memphis. Those are the 11 men that Sergi Barjuan has picked for tonight's Matchday 4 in the Champions League group stage. On the bench will be Neto, Iñaki Peña, Umtiti, Ronald Araujo, Alejandro Valde, Álvaro Sanz, Coutinho, Riqui Puig, Demir, Ousmane Dembélé and Luke de Jong. Serginho Dest, as you said, Diego, is going to be starting on the bench. The big news is that Frenkie de Jong and Ansu Fati are starting after missing the last two games due to some injuries.
Exactly, and of course also the inclusion again of Dembélé back in the team. Hopefully he'll be able to get some minutes as well. What do you think? Will we see Gavi on the right there, Rick?
I think Gavi, yeah. He's played well on the right before. He's very mobile, very good, comfortable on the ball. And I think he's going to play a similar role to like in the Levante game where he was a real threat down that side and was able to come in and help in midfield when they needed him.
I was a bit worried how Sergio was going to fit all the lineup because, of course, after the great performances we saw at Nico in the last 2 games, he deserved the spot in the 11. Frankie de Jong was back, so, with Sergio Busquets, but I think it's a great option to pick Gabi up front. He has showed good performances, as Rick has pointed out now, and with Ansu Fati in Memphis, a great forward line. And yeah, probably a bit of surprise there with Sergio starting in the bench, but at the same time, it's great to have good resources on the bench for the upcoming second half or some changes that you want to make.
And of course, a reminder for those who don't remember, Barca still have lots of players out due to injury. Of course, El Kun Agüero and Gerard Piqué were the latest to be added onto that injury list, which also features still Pedri, Martin Braithwaite out for a long term. The good news yesterday was, of course, the inclusion of up to four players who were on that injury list. Ousmane Dembélé, Ronald Araujo, Ansu Fati and Frenkie de Jong, the latter two starting in the lineup tonight.
Absolutely. What about Dynamo? Let's have a look at the starting lineup for Dynamo Kyiv.
The starting lineup for Dynamo Kiev tonight is very similar to the one that they presented at Camp Nou. Just 2 changes that Mircea Lucescu has made in that starting 11. If we can get it on our screens right now. They will start with a 4-2-3-1 formation featuring Bushan in goal, Ketziora, Zavarny, Sirota and Karavaev at the back, Sidorchuk and Sharapenko as their 2 midfielders, Sigankov on the right, Depena on the left, Buyalski as the attacking midfielder, and Garmash up front. Garmash is one of the players who didn't feature in the lineup at Camp Nou. Karavaev is the other change. Guys, this is a team that hasn't changed much since last year when we beat them 4-0 over there, but they gave us some trouble at Camp Nou.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't a comfortable night for Barca. There was just that doubt about whether you push on and try and get that second goal, but then risk conceding. And I think Barca were caught in 2 minds there. And I think Shaparenko had a great game in that first match.
I honestly expect something else, some improvement about Dynamo Kyiv than the one we saw at the Camp Nou. Of course, because they are playing at home. Of course, because they will have the support of all their fans. But also because I don't think that in the Camp Nou they showed their best version. It's true that we are talking about a team from Pot 4, so yeah, we can expect not one of the favorites in Europe. But I think they have more weapons than the ones they showed at the Camp Nou, that the team will have to be really careful. And that's why I think the importance to start well, strong, and try to score an early goal to then calm the situation a little bit and change the plans for Dynamo Kyiv, that will be, of course, defend, and then try to go counter-attack and find an option and a goal. But I expect a bit more in terms of attack also from Kyiv than the one we saw in the Camp Nou.
Well, why don't we head on over to the Ukraine and hear from our head coach, Sergi Barjuan, ahead of this game against Kiev.
I have the doubt if they will press us very high or simply they will remain in the center of the field. We have worked on the 2 possible options, but we will see when the game starts and the doubt is solved. We will try to play our style of football and beat them with the ideas we have worked on.
amb les idees que hem treballat, intentar superar-los.
Si fem un cop d'ull a l'11 i recuperar...
Frenkie de Jong and Ansu Fati are coming back to the starting 11. Is it a positive moral injection?
Confiança per l'equip, més recursos futbolistes com ells.
Sí, clar.
Yes, of course. The more players we recover, more possibilities the coach has to choose from. The competition between the rest of the players also increases. To be a starter, the level of demand increases, and that is always good for the entire squad. Surely the recovery periods of some injured were longer, but they wanted to play, and that is important. Last game the team was the protagonist with the ball. Have you had more days to prepare for today's game? Can the culé be calm that the team will continue to play that style of football? That's how it is. This has been the talk I have given them. Today all the culés will be watching us. I have told them that they must be intense and not to stop running in the 90 minutes. When the game is over, no one can say that they have not given everything on the field. Sometimes the result is not positive, but the effort has to be the maximum, no matter what happens. This is how the toll has been, and this is how they should play. I want to ask you the last question because you must already go to the locker room. And I want to ask you about Sergio El Kun Agüero. Yesterday we knew that he will be out of the team for 3 months. Is it a mental blow to the squad? I want to wish him a speedy recovery. The whole team supports him, and we will do everything to make him happy and to get a victory. I hope we can get the challenge of winning and dedicate it to him.
The words there of our head coach, Sergi Barjuan, of course, with a good message for Kun Agüero, as well as asking for intensity from the team that traveled to the Ukraine yesterday, of course, and this morning had a training session wrapped up because it's cold out there over east, but
not so cold as other times. It's 8 degrees now to play. I mean, it's cold, of course, but we have gone there to visit.
But these players are used to Mediterranean climate. Yeah. Rudy, you see the hoodies are on, the gloves are on as well.
The snoods around the neck.
Exactly,
yeah.
You saw that. And of course, a team as well that is having to adjust to the new circumstances, but of course, surely excited as well to have all of the new additions as well of these players that have been injured for long term.
Yes, and one of them is Ousmane Dembélé right there on our screens right now. The last game that he played for Football Club Barcelona was Matchday 38 last season in La Liga against Eibar, if I'm not mistaken. He got injured in the Euros. It's been a long process for him, but we've seen him in the last few weeks taking part in training sessions, and finally he gets the call up today. He's not in the starting lineup, but we'll see, guys, if he manages to get a few little minutes. It would be great news to see Ousmane Dembélé back on a playing pitch.
He's a player that can give you something different from any point of the pitch. He can find long shots from long distances. He can also dribble inside the box. I mean, he gives you something different, and I think it's going to be really important to recover the best version of Ousmane Dembélé. Of course, he has been out injured so many times, and he has to go step by step, getting back to the field. But I'll expect to have him probably today some minutes in the match. Let's see, of course, how it goes, everything. Yeah. But it's great news at least to have Ousmane Dembélé back in the squad list.
I agree with Bruno. I think you don't take him to Kiev unless you plan to give him some minutes.
Yes.
Otherwise he could have rested for the international break, or it's coming up. So I think that Dembélé will get some minutes today. And I think Barca have missed a player like that. Yeah. Someone, and Ronald Koeman said it when he was here, Sergi Barjuan knows as well. A player who can beat a man one-on-one down the flank and make chances for his teammates.
And actually, sorry, Robert, a player who, I mean, his natural position can be in the right. That in these first months of the competition, we have been trying to find solutions. Serginho Dest up front, and now Gavi up front. I mean, these are not the natural positions. And for Dembélé, he's a kind of right or left-footed player because he can play well with both feet. So that's also something important if you can fit a player in his position like Dembélé.
And of course, an attacking option for Sergi Barjuan, taking into account that we have few attacking options still. All of these injuries that we're having. The latest addition was El Kun Agüero last Saturday, and he gave us a big scare, didn't he?
Well, he did indeed, Robert. That big scare left us, all of us culés, of course, in a state of shock, and the player himself and his family as well. Luckily, though, he seems to be all right. Of course, the club has announced that we're going to look at the tweets now that the player will be out for at least 3 months. That is the latest news that has come out of Can Barça, as Barça announced there. Dr. Josep Brugada went through a therapeutic process with the player and has deemed him, unfit to play for the next 3 months. Luckily, like I said, we did hear from the player as well. Kun Agüero tweeted out a tweet to all of his followers, all of his fans, saying that he's doing good. His spirits are high to confront this recuperation process, and he wanted to thank as well all of the people that sent messages to him, sending him support and all of the love. And he's saying that que hacen que mi corazón sea hoy más fuerte. So he's saying that his heart is stronger today than it was yesterday. So a good message there from the striker.
We saw a lot of his his teammates as soon as the news came out, retweeting, sending in messages of support. So it was nice to see that. Obviously,
what a scare it was.
It was a big scare. We were a bit disconcerted on Saturday. We didn't quite know what was happening because we kept getting replays and we were looking for contact. There was no contact anywhere, and then of course we found out what had happened. And it's never pleasant to go through situations like that.
When he went directly to the dressing room, that's always something negative because it means or is an important injury, or in this case, he was going in the ambulance to go to the hospital because this was a serious thing. But in the end, it seems that he's healthy. Hopefully, let's see if he can also be back at the football pitches in the future.
I'm sad for him because he was just coming into form. He scored his first goal. I think, like you said, everyone in the dressing room likes him. He's a really fun presence around for the team, and get well soon.
And it's a shame because he started really well, actually, with his debut, then scoring in El Clásico in the few minutes he played. It seemed to be in form, and to lose someone who has started so well in his career at Barça, it's also a shame. But we can just hope in the best to have a good recovery.
We wish him a speedy recovery indeed, Bruno. The last time Barça played Kiev was, of course, in the last Matchday 3 in the Champions League, the last time that we picked up a win as well. Why don't we have a look at the highlights and remember some of those important moments, key moments of that match.
Yeah, let's go and see how it went at Camp Nou. Barça had opportunities to win this game by 3 or 4 goals. This one, the early one by Serginho Dest. Dynamo didn't have a shot on goal. This was their clearest chance, more than likely, and it was a shot that was blocked. Sigankov, Buyalski, their most creative players, Depena as well, were unable to beat Barca's defense. And Barca, unfortunately, just were struggling to hit the target. You could feel the frustration build up as the minutes were going by. Luc de Jong had a couple of opportunities here as well. Good hand by Bushan. And it was the same story again, wasn't it? What the players were saying the other day. I remember Jordi Alba said it. We're struggling too much to score, and teams, not in this case, but teams are scoring too easily against us.
All these images were from first half, so imagine how many opportunities Barca got in that game. That's when your team is not clinical at all, then you start suffering. Big doubts also were there, and here in the end Gerard Piqué, well, a brilliant goal scored by Piqué, because there was a bit of tension, of course, because it was also an important match, but fortunately Piqué was able to score.
Yeah, the defender with the most goals in Champions League history, and he was the first scorer in La Liga for us and the first scorer in the Champions League for us. He was a great little moment for Ansu Fati, but the first moment is better than what happens later. Great pressure by Ansu Fati, creates his own chance. Memphis keeps it alive, and then we heard Ansu Fati talk about this. He had a bit of a reprimand by coach Ronald Koeman and Sergio Busquets and Coutinho there.
Yeah, because he had there some support from other players, and in the end he decided to try in the other way, but I think it was also a good option. And in the end, a striker has the goal in the DNA, and he's always looking to try and score goals.
Now, Rick, I don't know about you, but I get a sense of looking at all these chances after chances, and we can looking at the game against Kiev, but there's other games as well where Barça had a chance or had these chances. Don't you have the feeling that once they do capitalize on that and it hits the back of the net, that they get it sort of opens the floodgates?
Without a doubt. I think that Barca have been unlucky on 2 fronts this season. One, with injuries, like we've said, so many players injured, and the other, they are creating these clear-cut chances and they just haven't quite gone in. We saw in the last game, Memphis, he scored a great goal, but then against Alaves, he also had 2 chances, both of which one he hit the post and one he was just off target, and you've got to put those chances away, and I think that Barca will get there.
Some explanations to how the game went. Here we have, of course, the graphic of the possession, and that's something we report and look that the game was played 37.2 in Dynamo Kyiv side, and that's something important. We have a look to the next image that we want to highlight about the game. That's how both teams played the other day at the Camp Nou. You can, of course, imagine that, well, Barca attacked a little bit more than Dynamo Kyiv.
It all happened in one half.
Absolutely, and well, of course, today we're going to see a different Gavi position, where probably we can expect Nico being more up there. Of course, De Jong and Busquets stay in the same in midfield, but well, Gavi today will go up in the right, and probably we'll see a bit more up than Serginho Dest. Of course, Mingueza probably today. That's why Koeman has picked him to defend a little bit more. And to finish, we have here also the head maps of how the action went, again to explain easily and graphically where Dynamo Kyiv players were in their defensive area, in their own half, and look, Barca. with left side playing a lot, not so much in the right side. Didn't appear as much as other nights or the games. Today, Gavi will be parting from this right wing, at least from the starting lineup. Then we will see how it goes. But well, I think also this graphic shows quite clear the ideas and the styles of both teams, at least in the first leg at the Camp Nou.
And I would imagine you could expect as well probably this heat map to be different now that Kiev is of course playing at home and will probably press a little bit higher. It remains to be seen. But let's head back over to Ukraine and hear from our central defender Eddie Garcia, who had a stellar game against that draw against Alaves.
Obviously, we know it's a really important game for us. It's key to take the 3 points. After it depends on us, the results we get. But first of all, it's really important to get the win tomorrow. I think the team knows that. The team is ready for that. So hopefully we can go out there tomorrow and take the 3 points. Yeah. Well, I think the game could be a little bit different of what it was here. They play at home with the crowd. I think it can be a little bit different, but I think the main thing for us is to take the control of the game, be ready for the counterattacks, try to avoid them as much as possible, and then play our football.
Rick, we discussed in the countdown yesterday how Eddie Garcia maybe was a little bit slow to get out of the gates early on in the season, but maybe he's hitting his right form just at the right time at this point?
I think so. I think he's been superb in the last few games for Barca, and he's showing that not only is he a good option right now, he's also going to be a good option in the future, which is also what Barca are hoping for with him, that he can be perhaps the next Piqué over the next 10 years or so. And I think it's been a good few games.
I think it was a complicated start for him because we all talked about how used he is to the Barca system, but it's easier said than done. He came off of 6 months of not really playing for Manchester City as he dealt with his contractual situation. Yeah. Then he had a very busy summer with the Euros and then the Olympics, but that meant that he didn't have a pre-season with the team. He didn't prepare with his teammates. He didn't prepare with Gerard Piqué, with Clément Lenglet. He was thrown into the lineup in the first game. I say that in the most positive of senses. Obviously, it was a great opportunity for him to start against Real Sociedad. But he kind of needed his time to adjust. And I think as the games have gone by, as the weeks have gone by, we're seeing a better and better Eddie.
When you are not probably at your best level because you're adapting, because you are starting a new adventure in your career, but your manager at your club believes in you, all of the competition and the competence that you have in your position with Piqué, with Lenglet, with Umtiti. And also, national coach Luis Enrique, same. Although being a lot of discussion with the press, with some fans of the national team, you also believe in a player. This means probably something that this player has something special. If it's not just for one manager, in this case 2 managers and 2 managers with long careers and important managers like Koeman or Luis Enrique, this probably means something that Eric is a player that, well, he's a good player and he's growing and it's great, I think, to see last performances from him that are top performances. Let's see, of course, if he can continue at this level, because as you mentioned, he can have a long and great career at the club.
The other day against Alaves, he was one of the best players on the pitch. He completed 112 passes, only 5 missed passes. He recovered the ball 6 times. He created his own opportunity off of the corner kick. We haven't seen him score yet, which is something that I'm really looking forward to. We're seeing right now on our screens images of the team traveling yesterday to Kiev. They arrived in the evening. If I'm not mistaken, there was even a little bit of interaction with some of the fans there. Ronald Araujo receiving a little gift there.
There you go.
I think it was a, what do you call it, a pancarta that said Ronald Araujo. We can see Ricky Puig in a second also signing some autographs. So the fans who went to Barca's hotels got their rewards.
It's important to have, again, I think, this connection between the fans and the players, because it's true that in the last years, well, of course, for COVID-19 and all the reasons, probably there have been a bit of lack of communication there. And I think it's great because, I mean, if you want new generations to be supporting your team, you need to be with them. And in this case, great images from Ricky, also Marc-André ter Stegen signing, I think, this morning autographs.
Yes,
that's what you need. That's what you need, this connection between fans and players.
Now, Rick, what about his partner today, the other central defender, Clément Lenglet? He's not enjoyed the same amount of minutes, perhaps, as he did last season, due to injury, of course, as well, and tactical decisions. But do you see this as a game, perhaps, for the French defender, a game where he can maybe redeem himself?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a game. It's a huge game, so he has to redeem himself in that sense. And I think that Barca, with Eric Garcia and Lenglet at the back, will bring the ball out nicely, which is just what they need against a Kiev team that we said sat back in the first leg. And even though they're at home, might end up having to do the same here, given Barca are going to play aggressively to get the win. So I think that it's a great chance for Lenglet to play himself into some form.
In fact, Lenglet did actually play in the game at Camp Nou as well. He hasn't started very much this season, but curiously enough, in the games against Dynamo Kyiv, he has started. There are the images that Bruno was talking about. Sergio Barjuan, Marc-André ter Stegen, some of the players, Yusuf Demir as well, signing some autographs there, which is always great.
Game is about to start, but I have the first stat that I like for tonight's game, and it's about Ansu Fati. The 3 times that Ansu Fati has started playing in the Champions League, he has been involved in a goal. So 3 goals involved in 3 participations. The one against Ferencváros and 2 assists again also by Ferencváros and Kiev last year. So, well, 4th start for Ansu in the Champions League. Let's see if it also can be with a goal or with an assist.
There's another stat that I like going into this game as well, which is that heading into Matchday 4, Dynamo Kyiv have attempted the fewest shots of any team in the Uefa Champions League so far this season, a total of 17. So that means just over 3 per game. They have not scored yet. So let's keep it that way, I would say.
Let's keep it, but the same. I think today probably will have some more chances than in the Camp Nou, honestly.
No. Last season we won 4-0 there. I think it's going to be a very different game. All the goals were scored in the second half, by the way. It wasn't an easy first half for Barca. Then the goals started going in. But last season, a couple of things. No fans in the stadium, very different. I think the Dynamo Kyiv fans today will be very noisy. I think that this team has something at stake as well. If they win today, they're in with a chance of maybe making second in the group. So that they have their opportunity. The other thing I wanted to quickly comment is that this is the stadium where Oscar Mingueza made his debut as a starter.
That's true. I don't think last season's game is good to take conclusions because it was a completely different game.
Before the ball gets rolling over in Kiev, of course, we always have this little moment where we're going to guess the score. Now, Rick, I'm going to start with you. It's part of the Matchday challenge, of course, a chance for you, all you Barça fans watching, a chance for you to win jerseys on a weekly basis with every single match. And the grand prize at the end of the season is 2 tickets to fly over here to Barcelona to enjoy the Clásico for next season and stay a week in this beautiful city, also known as the Ciudad Condal. You're going to have to guess the score. That is, of course, pre-match. Then at the halftime, you got to take the halftime quiz. And finally, you have a chance to also get some points by doing the final rating of the game. And that is, of course, at the end. Rick, guessing the score. Barça, the last time that we faced Kiev, we've won those 5 times. Is your gut telling you something optimistic? Can we hope for a good score tonight, or what is it going to be?
I'm confident in Barca today. I think they're going to win 2-0.
Easy one, Rick. 2-0 is an easy one.
Why?
It's kind of not
risky.
Exactly.
Not risky enough.
I don't know.
You want to be more optimistic?
4-0 to Barca today.
Oh,
Let's go.
You said that this game tonight is not going to have anything to do with last year.
I know, but that's why, because last year there was nothing in play actually for Barca, and this year we have a lot in play. So yeah, 4-0 for Barca.
Wow. All right. Well, 2-0 one way, 4-0 the other way. I can't help but go in between. 3-0 for Barca.
3-0.
Yep. Diego?
Optimistic scores here. I think it's gonna be a tough match. I'm going for a suffered victory, a 2-1 for Barça.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that today the team can battle with what they've been suffering with in the last few games, which was that we concede a little bit too easily. I'm going to go ahead on the Barça app and vote for my score, 3-0. You can, as Diego was saying, you can win many prizes, guess the score, rate the game, and during the game you can play the game quiz as well. You can do that on the Barça app and fcbarcelona.com, so don't forget to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and vote. And we're going to have a look at the lineups for tonight's game before the game gets started, as the players are on the pitch. Football Club Barcelona will be starting with Marc-André ter Stegen in goal. 4-3-3 formation with Mingueza, Eric, Lenglet and Jordi Alba at the back. In midfield, Sergio Busquets, Frenkie de Jong and Nico. And up front, Gavi, Memphis and Ansu Fati, who returns after missing 2 games due to some knee discomfort. For Dynamo Kyiv, A 4-2-3-1 formation, the one that Mircea Lucescu has picked, with Bushan in goal, Ketziora, Zavarni, Sirota and Karavayev at the back. The midfielders would be Sidorchuk and Shaparenko, the attacking midfielders Sigankov, Buyalski and Depena, and up front the striker will be Garmash. And at this point here, we're going to go and say goodbye to everyone watching us on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. And if you want to continue with our game coverage, don't forget to go over to Barça TV+.